President Biden announced plans to reduce gas prices, and today is the last day of Women's History Month, and we highlight a special Las Vegas local.
Las Vegas is making move to become the next biggest name in sports industry. All that and more coming up.
Welcome to Studio G. I'm David Cruz.
And I'm Brianna DeLeon. Thank you for joining us. President Joe Biden just announced plans to release 1 million barrels of oil.
Authorized the release of 1 million barrels per day for the next 6 months, over 180 million barrels for the from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. This is a wartime bridge to increase oil supply until production ramps up later this year. And it is by far the largest release of our national reserve in our history.
Gas prices have reached a record high, and President Biden announces his plan in efforts to lower oil and gas prices. The United Nations are investigating reports of mass graves in trafficking hub in Libya. Libya is a major transit point in North Africa where immigrants head to complete their journey into Europe. However, there are reports that militias and traffickers are kidnapping some of the migrants. The reports accuse traffickers of raping, torturing, and murdering these people. The mass graves are allegedly in the city of Beni Walid, but their mayor is denying all of the accusations. We will have more updates as the UN conducts their investigation.
A recent update on the Supreme Court confirmation could give nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson the vote she needs to win the pick. Studio G reporter Jonathan Corral has more information.
GOP Maine Senator Susan Collins has confirmed that she will be voting to confirm Ketanji Brown Jackson into the Supreme Court. This gives Democrats at least one Republican vote, which would ensure Judge Jackson's spot and make her the first ever black woman in U.S. history to serve on the Supreme Court. Collins met with Jackson after 4 days of hearing and said, quote, "She possesses the experience, qualifications, and integrity to serve as an Associate Justice on the Supreme Court." While it is expected that all 50 Senate Democrats will vote for Jackson, Arizona Senator Kristen Sinema has not confirmed how she will vote. If Jackson were to win, she would be replacing retiring Justice Stephen Breyer. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Jonathan Corral.
We will continue to have more updates on the Supreme Court confirmation as they come in. The body of 18-year-old Naomi Arion was found in a remote area near Reno. Seen at a Walmart parking lot back in March 12th, authorities found Arion's body in a gravesite after a tip was sent in. 41-year-old Troy Driver was arrested for the alleged kidnapping of Arion and set to appear for a pretrial hearing next weekend. Additional charges have not been filed as of right now.
Up next, we will have a special look into a female special effects artist who is a local here in Las Vegas. I wonder who it is.
Are you recording?
Yeah, I've been recording the entire time.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know either.
Yeah, no, because I like to
Hi, my name is Jenny Egidio. I'm a special effects and beauty makeup artist. I've been doing this for about 15 years now, 12 years in film production, first years was in theater. And I'm a freelancer, so I work on all kinds of different productions. Today I'm with Urban Adventures, the Criminal Justice Department at UNLV, and we're doing some mock crime scenes. I got started in special effects and theater. I actually was an artist. I was a painter and an illustrator before that. And they were looking for some face painters for Cats the Musical. And that was my first gig, my first training experience at 15. And I learned how to do prosthetics, paint, special effects, a little bit of costumes, and after that I went straight into college, into the film program, doing some fine arts classes, but then I solidified into the film program, and I was directing and producing a little bit. The coolest project I got to work on was probably the Coca-Cola Regal competition. They have like the students come and they do a fake commercial for Coca-Cola and Regal. And we won audience favorite, and our short got shown nationally, like throughout the entire country, before every single movie that was shown in every Regal theater. And I got to do some prosthetic genie ears. The whole story was a genie comes and pops into a girl who's looking in a thrift store, and she finds a little camera, an old camera. She rubs the dust off it, and a genie comes out, and he says, I'll grant you your wish. What's your ultimate happiness? And she wants to go to the movies with him as a date. I still draw when I have time. Unfortunately, since I work so much and I have injuries, I can't be very dexterous with my hand for too long of a period. But I love doodling. I still draw all my makeup designs before I do a character. I love painting with my girlfriends just for fun, nothing skill set crazy, nothing super professional looking. But it's like a stress relief. Now it's like a form of therapy for me. Some hobbies I like to do, I'm really into Legos and puzzles. My friend just bought me a little puzzle, BTS puzzle, while I was working today just to cheer me up. My name's Jenny Egidio. Thank you so much, Studio G, for having me.
What a great way to end Women's History Month, and being able to celebrate women in the special effects department as they work in the art of cinema, often a male-dominated industry. And coming up after a break, Luis Soto gives us a look into this weekend's weather.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future, in a world that's changing fast. For all of the things you may one day do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do learn from your mistakes. And challenge yourself to grow. Do not be afraid. Or make decisions based in fear. Do it all with confidence and with kindness and strength. Do call your mom and ask her for advice. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing it. I love you always, Mom.
Hi, I'm Luis Soto, and I am here with the weather. So as you can see, today's high will be 80 degrees, a bit sunny. Wear sunscreen or let your skin collect melanin to get that smooth, dark tone. And as you can see, in Las Vegas, we're gonna have 69s and averaging around our city with a lot of 60s, high 60s. So it'll be getting a bit higher in Henderson with 71. So we're gonna be having a lot of warm temperatures, partially cloudy in the afternoon, kind of changing it up, maybe wearing a long sleeve or something, and having a bit of light wind speeds as well. And for the evening planner, we're going to be going to 78 in the afternoon, and then climbing up to 70, going down to 76, and going all the way back down to 71 with a 65 on midnight. Tomorrow morning, as the sun rises, we'll be having a 57 for those that are interested to watch the sunrise. And if you guys are already up, maybe you guys can go and have a drink because it's Las Vegas. It'll be happy hour somewhere. And with our 7-day forecast, we're going to be having an average of 80s climbing up to the 90s going through Tuesday and Wednesday. And in the evening, we're going to be going down to the 50s, maybe up in the 60s like on Saturday, but coming back up with the 60s again Monday, Tuesday, and going back down to 58 on Wednesday. That is all with the weather. Coming up after the break, an exclusive interview with a UNLV student promoting diversity in the world of sports. So stay tuned.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future, in a world that's changing fast. For all of the things you may one day do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do learn from your mistakes and challenge yourself to grow. Do not be afraid or make decisions based in fear. Do it all with confidence and with kindness and strength. Do call your mom and ask her for advice. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life,
Thank you.
what matters to me is that you keep doing it. I love you always, Mom.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our technical skills, our math, our engineering skills. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our organizational skills, our problem-solving skills. You're going to need our determination, our honesty, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm joined by Dominic Lavoie, who's a fellow journalism student and a hockey enthusiast. Dom, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Good, good. So I know you're a hockey player. How'd you get into playing hockey?
It's pretty funny. When I was really young, I was going through the newspaper with one of my uncles. He played hockey up in Massachusetts when he was younger. And I saw an ad for Frozen Fury for the Los Angeles Kings and the Arizona Coyotes at the MGM. And that was my first really introduction to hockey, was seeing that ad. And then I started ice skating at 8 years old, which was a huge surprise. And I've been like kind of skating for a few years, and I started playing really when I was like 11-ish, and I couldn't really play super consistent because like I kept outgrowing my gear, and all my family worked on the strip, so they worked a lot and a lot of overnight shifts and everything, so I couldn't make it to the practices or the games all the time. So it was really kind of sporadic growing up, but just playing video games really kept me into it. Playing the NHL video games all the time with my friends on Xbox really kept me into hockey. But it's just kind of funny to look back, like having a newspaper ad really sparked my interest, even though like one of my uncles played and was a really good player.
So hockey is obviously a wonderful sport, but there's a stigma around playing hockey that's kind of negative. So what was your experience like when you were playing hockey and you were in the hockey locker room?
It wasn't overtly negative. It was really kind of one of those things where you recognize you weren't like a lot of people. Obviously, like I might be lighter complexion, but I'm still black passing, and it is a white-dominated sport. So you kind of look around the locker room and you just see a lot of the other kids, and you're like, there's not anybody that looks like me here. And that was really my experience. It wasn't really anything like of racism directed to me. I mean, I know plenty of people who've had that happen to them, and it's a terrible thing, but I was fortunate enough to like really have a more positive experience when it comes to playing hockey and growing up playing it, and only really being like, well, I'm a bit of an outlier, but everyone treats me like I'm a regular person, so I was kind of cool with it.
Yeah, it's good that you had that good experience and that the stigma didn't affect you. But I also know you're the co-founder for Skating for Diversity group. Can you tell me more about this group and the foundation?
Yeah, so that group, it's funny the way it started. It started in April of 2020 through TikTok. My other co-founder, one of them, Jason Harrison, he plays prep hockey in Chicago. His TikTok popped up on my For You page, and that was when hockey TikTok was really, really big, and it was really popular. And I liked it, and we exchanged messages on TikTok, and he was like, yeah, like, do you want to like join this like black hockey family that I'm making, like just for black hockey players and everything? And that night, it was born under the Black Hockey Family name, and then it took some deliberation and just like some talking and like getting more people in and getting input. And we realized that there's not just black people in here. There's like people of Indian descent in this group chat. There's people of Asian descent in this group chat. And there's just so many different races other than black. So what's the point of having Black Hockey Family? So we changed it from Black Hockey Family to Skating for Diversity, but we still kept that black element with the Pan-African flag colors in the logo. the red, green, and black. So it still has that roots per se from when we started, but we really just want to see more people in hockey. It's not to really be, oh, we don't want white people in hockey anymore. It's just for the sake of growing the game. And hockey is a very expensive and demanding sport, and a lot of minorities don't have access to it because it's so expensive and they're in lower income communities. So it's really just kind of trying to grow the game and raise awareness for like those people who do want to play hockey or are like me growing up. They don't see many people in their locker room, but then they go on the internet and they see countless other people playing NCAA hockey, winning championships, and just doing great things.
Yeah, that's a great group. And we have time just for one more quick question. Are you seeing any progress in detoxizing the hockey culture and the negative stigma?
It depends on where you look. In Canada, it's still very aggressive. One of our members in Skating for Diversity, his name is Mateo. He's only 13 years old. And he experienced racism last season, like very bad racism from parents, coaches, teammates, other players. And it was so bad that CBC Montreal did a piece on him. So in Canada, it's still pretty aggressive, but in other places, it is improving. Places like New York with another organization, 43 Oak Foundation, they do all sorts of camps and everything. So it's growing in certain places, but there's definitely room for improvement, and there's definitely room to grow as well.
Well, Dom, thank you for joining us. This is a great group. I hope more people go check it out. And when we come back, I will have an update on sports in Las Vegas. Don't go nowhere.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our technical skills, our math, our engineering skills. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our organizational skills, our problem-solving skills. You're going to need our determination, our honesty, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see.
Third line, please.
DEPRESSION.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale. Bipolar? Sorting out a mental health concern is not something to attempt on your own.
Anxiety. I thought so.
Like many health conditions, help for mental illness takes professional diagnosis and treatment. And the sooner you seek treatment, the better.
Look at that. 6,000 steps and PTSD.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. Find out what to do. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
In today's Sports Corner, we have everything from college baseball to Formula One and World Cup soccer. Formula One announced that they are bringing their races to Las Vegas starting in 2023. UNLV reporter Dominic Lavoie has more.
Formula One is officially returning to Las Vegas. That's right. Sin City is adding yet another sporting event to their lineup, this time being with one of the biggest motorsports in the world. The announcement came Wednesday night at a press conference at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas with plenty of fanfare. The Grand Prix is slated to take place around the third week of November in 2023, with the 50-lap race around the 3.8-mile circuit running under the lights on a Saturday night. The course will follow along Las Vegas Boulevard and wind its way through the Las Vegas Strip and pass by legendary hotels along the way. The race is expected to draw a large crowd and pay huge dividends for the local economy. Here's what Governor Steve Sisolak had to say.
You're talking 170,000 people minimum coming to see this event. Almost 500,000 room nights are going to be accomplished. The economic impact will be $500 million in direct economic impact. And when you get into the indirect and the gaming, it'll exceed $1 billion for that week, which is just magnificent. It's going to keep a lot of our folks working, and folks will be able to enjoy the best restaurants and shopping in the world, and we're excited about it.
The race is currently under a 3-year contract to keep it on the schedule through 2026. However, Formula One leadership hopes this will be a long-lasting partnership.
No street in the world lights up like the Las Vegas Strip, and to have the opportunity to light it up with the partnership announcement with F1 and Las Vegas for a 23 race is just terrifically exciting. We've turned the Strip red. We are going to do it for years going forward.
For Studio G, I'm Dominic Lavoie.
F1 isn't the only sport coming to the Las Vegas Valley. Studio G reporter Jacob Teller has more on the Vegas Nighthawks.
The Vegas Nighthawks kicked off their second home game at the Dollar Loan Center Arena versus the Tucson Sugar Skulls. The Las Vegas Nighthawks feature UNLV alumni Darren Woods, Jericho Flowers, and Gabriel McCoy. The Hawks and Sugar Skulls traded punches throughout the game, entering the fourth quarter with a score of 35-33. Jalen Henderson, quarterback of the Hawks, gave it his all, completing 18 passes for 6 touchdowns, but failed to get his team back in the game. The Nighthawks lost control of the game once the Sugar Skulls held them on 4th down, turning the ball over to Tucson. Head coach Mike Davis remained optimistic after the game.
Well, I mean, you look at what happened from last week to this week. I mean, we made monumental strides. So we'll just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And like I said, we'll be fine. I told people at the beginning of the year, through 4 games, if we were 2-2, that's a huge success for us, being an expansion team. That's still attainable. I mean, we dropped one tonight we shouldn't have lost, but that's part of the game.
The Vegas Nighthawks will play against the Bay Area Panthers on the road next week on April 4th. Reporting for Studio G, this is Jacob Teller.
The Vegas Nighthawks host their 3rd home game against the Arizona Rattlers on April 8th. The FIFA World Cup is the biggest sporting tournament in the world, and the United States qualified for the tournament. The U.S. suffered disappointment in 2018 when they failed to qualify, but Greg Berhalter and his staff have rebuilt the program, and the U.S. will look to build on this momentum in Qatar when the World Cup starts in mid-November. The World Cup draws tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time on FS1. The U.S. is on the second paw and will look to avoid any tough draws. Soccer is the fastest growing sport in America. Experts predict that by 2028, soccer will be the 3rd biggest sport in the United States, behind football and basketball. American fans should be excited for 2026 when the U.S., Canada, and Mexico will all co-host the World Cup. And now on to college baseball. The Hustling Rebels are 7-1 in their last 8 games. The highest profile win happened Tuesday when the Rebels took on the Arizona State Sun Devils at the Las Vegas ballpark. Both teams traded hits and runs, but in the bottom of the 9th inning, UNLV star Edarian Williams stole home base on a wild pitch. The walk-off wild pitch gave UNLV their best win of the year and had the fan base going wild from the stands. The Rebels will travel to New Mexico and take on the Lobos this weekend in a 3-game series. And now I'll send it over to David, who has the latest entertainment news.
Oh, thank you, Nick. You're so great. The highest profile win happens Tuesday when the Rebels. Oh wait, this isn't entertainment. We're still talking about baseball. Yeah, we're still talking about ballparks. Don't worry. You want to keep reading about your baseball stuff?
Yeah. So like I mentioned, Edarian Williams stole home base and they beat the Sun Devils. But now, David, I think the entertainment's all ready for you right now.
Oh, that's great. I love entertainment stuff. A lot has been taking place in the entertainment world as of recently. Latest entertainment news, Kelly Clarkson has officially changed her name to Kelly Brianna. A judge finalized Kelly's request to be officially recognized as Kelly Brianna, but she will continue to use the stage name Kelly Clarkson, especially since she has the show Kelly Clarkson Show. Ezra Miller was charged with disorderly conduct and harassment for 2 alleged incidents at a Hawaii karaoke bar over the weekend. Miller had allegedly been staying at the couple's home. They previously met at a farmer's market. The couple filed a restraining order against Miller because of his crazy actions. And he was caught yelling obscenities and harassing 2 individuals at a karaoke bar. So far, nothing has been said on behalf of their part.
Jared Leto stars in Sony's Marvel movie Morbius, set in the same world as the Venom and Spider-Man movies. The film centers on Michael Morbius, a scientist who, in trying to find a cure for a rare blood disease, accidentally transforms himself into a living vampire. Morbius is set to come out Friday, April 1st in theaters. NYU announced that they will be bestowing an honorary doctorate degree of fine arts to Taylor Swift during their graduation ceremony for their class of 2022 this May. The artist will also be addressing to 2022 graduates at the ceremony at Yankee Stadium. And Thursday is finally here, which means that it's time for our weekly restaurant review. Studio G reporter Molly Peters takes us back to Chinatown for a sweet treat.
For this week's restaurant review, I went back to Shanghai Plaza for some taiyaki and soft serve abung. Taiyaki is a Japanese fish-shaped cake with a filling of your choice. At Somi Somi, you can have yours filled with cheddar, red bean custard, Oreo, taro, or Nutella. As you can see, the filling is uncovered in batter and cooked like a waffle in a specialized machine. Abung is a popular Korean dessert inspired by Japanese taiyaki. It features a fish-shaped cone, which is then filled with a filling and topped with soft-serve ice cream. You can also sprinkle a few extra toppings on top. I ordered an upside-down abung, which is just soft-serve in a cup with the cone on top. I chose milk tea ice cream, Nutella filling, cocoa pebbles, and a macaroon as my topping. I also ordered a taiyaki with custard filling, but I decided to take it home for later. The abung was quite filling, and eating them both would have been just too much. The milk tea ice cream was absolutely delicious. However, the cocoa pebbles and Nutella were a bit overpowering. I think next time I'll order the custard with no toppings. A few hours later, I decided to try my taiyaki. Surprisingly, it was still warm and just a little bit soggy. It was so good, and I decided I preferred it over the abung. For Studio G News, I'm Molly Peters.
Samasawi is open every day from noon until 11 p.m. Masks are encouraged but not required, and indoor seating is available in the form of stadium seating. Heading over to their website at www.somasomi.com for more information. You can now put on makeup that smells like coffee and donuts in an unusual pairing. e.l.f. Cosmetics is launching a makeup collection inspired by Dunkin' products. The packaging for the makeup looks like a box of donuts. There is Dunkin' Donut scented eyeshadow palette, 2 laced for Days lip glosses, a coffee scented lip scrub, and makeup brushes shaped like straw. Prices range from $16 to $6. The limited edition collection rolls out nationwide through Ulta on April 3rd.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm David Cruz.
And I'm Brianna DeLeon. Make sure to tune in next Tuesday for more Studio G.
Yeah.